Today's collectible spot, we are having a look at the NJCroce, the new Batman Adventures Bendable Figures Bad Girls set. This set, Spot does not drop it, consists of the following figures. There's Roxy Rocket, Catwoman, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, and Livewire. A rather interesting set, as we are getting characters such as Roxy Rocket and Livewire above and beyond the normal cast of villainesses that we've seen in the new Batman Adventures. Down below, a funny little picture of Batman there with a little kiss lip print on his cheek. The back of the package features read-ups on all 5 figures. The first read-up from Harley Quinn. Harleen Quinzel was a psychiatrist who interned at Arkham Asylum. Quickly falling in love with one of the inmates, the Joker, she would eventually become his clown-costumed sidekick and pseudo-girlfriend Harley Quinn. Sometimes helping the Joker in his attempts to foil the Dark Knight, other times tagging along with Poison Ivy, or just getting into mischief on her own. Catwoman Selena Kyle is a morally ambiguous animal rights activist with a penchant for finer things in life. Prowling the city as Catwoman, she is a resourceful thief, and with her whip, razor-sharp claws, acrobatics, martial arts abilities, and seductive charm, she is also a formidable opponent and relishes being chased by Batman. She is a friend to all cats, with the ability to subdue even the most ferocious felines and turn them against her adversaries. Poison Ivy, former botanist, Pamela Isley loves plants to a fault, seeking to destroy anyone who sees as a threat to plant life, especially the wealthy elite of Gotham City. She generally doesn't get along well with other criminals, but shares a unique friendship with Harley Quinn. Her weapons include poison perfumes and lipstick, as well as her plant creatures. Roxanne Sutton was the most daring stuntman in the film industry. As she made her stunts more needlessly risky, however, she became such a liability that nobody would insure her. With no outlet for her thrill-seeking and no money, she turned to grand theft to regain both, and led Batman on a wild, rocket-powered chase for the ultimate thrill. And finally, Livewire. Leslie Willis, a controversial radio personality in Metropolis, was endowed with the ability to absorb and project electricity when a bolt of lightning bounced off of Superman and hit her. After escaping from an armored prison truck passing through Gotham City, Livewire joined up with Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn for a night of mayhem. As an electric being, her primary weakness is water. On the underside, you can go to www.njcroce. That would be croce.com. They are also the makers of Gumby. Well, makers of the Gumby Bendable figures. Ones that Spot did grow up with when he was a kid. Gumby was actually one of my favorite toys when I was younger. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, though, we're going to get a better look at the new Batman Adventures Bendable Figures Bad Girls set. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Okay, so let's get a better look at the Bad Girls set. First things first, Roxy Rocket. We don't get a lot of Roxys, which I think is really cool that NJCroce would have given us a bendable figure of the character. Of course, the only thing omitted from this is a giant rocket, but rockets are a little harder to bend. Roxy Rocket, being that she's a little skinnier, she is a lot easier to bend, kind of like the Batgirl that we had a look at, and also Wonder Woman. She has bendability in the arms, so even though her arm does come out of packaging up, you can certainly bend the arms down as well. You can kind of bend them on an angle. You can't really rotate the hands or anything like that. I guess you could to some degree, but not really by much. She does also have posability in the torso. So, you can get a lot of bendable options from the character. I like the face. They've painted in almost a kind of an aqua teal, maybe a greenish kind of visor, front visor there. Lipstick is nice. She's got big pearly white teeth, and she's got the sculpted in hair at the back. You can also see the air holes that allow the the wire frame in there inside. But yeah, you can get a lot of posable options out of her. Doesn't come with a rocket, but really neat though that we would have gotten a Roxy Rocket here in bendable treatment. Moving along to probably not one of my favorite figures from this set is the Catwoman. Nothing really against the bendable figure per se, but I kind of found that the new Batman Adventures Catwoman was kind of on the drabby side, a little on the boring side. I guess taking maybe some cues from the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman from Batman Returns. But I don't know, it just kind of came across always to me as a really boring looking design for the character. She's almost got like a grayish skin. Slightly purpled gray kind of lipstick on her lips. White eyes. But there's not really much to be said for the character's design. As you would expect it, Catwoman is very flexible. Almost as flexible as a cat. You know, being that you can bend the arms, the legs, the knees. You know, you can have really a lot of fun with these. And I like that when they're skinnier, you know, as you've seen with the previous reviews, when they're skinnier, you can do a little bit more with them than like the bulky figures. For example, like the Batman. There's nothing really wrong with the Batman. It's just a matter of fact that because he's so much broader, it's a little harder. There's a little more work that wireframe has to do inside to get the bendable actions coming. So, I mean, Batman doesn't bend as much as, say, the likes of Catwoman, but it's pretty neat to have the two of them kind of side by side. Or if you want to stick to a little more of the female persuasion, you can also, you know, pair them, the bad girls up together with one another. And the next one we'll have a look at is Poison Ivy. I really like this design. I think from the Batman New Adventures, Poison Ivy was one of my favorite redesigns. She looked a lot better. Well, I shouldn't say that. The original Bombshell Poison Ivy that they had for the Batman animated series wasn't bad, but I really like the newer design better. Her skin is all off-white. And then, of course, she's still got the green sleeves, the green dress, and the green little elf shoes. But I really like this design quite a bit. And I think as a bendable figure, it looks quite nice. It almost even rivals... No, actually, it doesn't rival. I think it does actually better than the original Kenner release that was packaged in a... I think it was like a Gotham 5-pack. She does have the bendable arms. You kind of have the arms up like, oh god, Harley, what are we doing now? Okay, what are we robbing? A pie shop? Okay, you know, we can rob a pie shop. Bendable legs, bendable knees. Pretty much the same as Catwoman. So even though the fact that the arms are out of packaging one way, because they are skinnier figures, you can still bend them and manipulate them a little bit differently. Almost to the point, because she has rubbery legs, she may not properly stand. Yeah, she won't stand. This probably was one of my favorite figures from this set. In fact, actually, you know what? This, I think, is a better set than the Hero set. I think I only say that, though, because I have a weakness towards like the villain designs. Moving along, we have Livewire. She's got her big electricity type hair. A little bit of paint just on the back there, which is a bit of a shame, but... You know, it's funny, though, that you pair her next to Catwoman. They're both kind of black outfit characters. Livewire's got a little bit more, I think, going on for her. And she's got the blue hands. Again, pale-skinned. Kind of consistently trending the idea of pale skin on really all these characters, except for that of Roxy Rocket. And you can see the differences between the two. Bendability. I say bendability, not posability, because she doesn't really have joints. But as you can see, lots of possible posable options that you can get Livewire in. I guess you can even really, which we haven't even looked at, you can also bend their heads. The skinnier characters, you can do that. She's probably not going to let me do this too many more times before she gets really angry at me and electrocutes me. But you can see, unlike the broader figures, the skinnier figures allow you to do a little bit more manipulation to them. And I'm going to stop before she gets angry. And there you have Livewire. And finally, Poison Ivy. I'm so sorry, Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn. This one really looks like the old kind of action figure line to me. Face is quite good. There's the back of it. You can see all the air holes again in the rubber. Posability. Now you see how her arm is up. But because she does have the frame inside of her, you can just to have her displayed with the arms. And you know, funny enough, like anybody walking by in a room, if you were having these on standing up somehow, you would look at them and think that they're actually action figures. You would look at them and say, hey, that's a pretty cool action figure, until you actually picked it up and realized, no, in fact, it's a bendable figure. I think that says something for, NJCroce for giving us really faithful recreations, not only really of what the characters look like in the cartoon, but also pretty faithful recreations of like the old figures that we used to grow up with. Harley Quinn is probably one of my favorites. I'm kind of looking at all of them. I think my favorite, though, of the set, I might say Poison Ivy. I like Roxy quite a bit, but I think Poison Ivy might take it for me. You can have the girls hanging out together. Catwoman can kind of come and go. She's got other things to do after all, but girlfriends to the end, you got Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. Spot will put the link down below to NJCroce if you guys certainly would like to check out more of their releases. Like I said, they're releasing a ton of DC Comics stuff. Of course, they've still got the Gumby. That's what made what made them famous was their Gumby releases. And also, they've got a couple of vehicles with small bendable figures too, which I have a feeling Spot's probably going to have a look at. Sounds like a segue. Today's collectible spot, we were having a look at the new Batman Adventures Bad Girls set from the folks over at NJCroce. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more collectible spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.